Hi, welcome back to our channel. I'm Bianca, this is Christian, and we are the bosses. Let's try again. As you can see, we are tired. It's like we're not getting enough sleep.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Not really, but we are just tired.
It feels like 1 o'clock.
So today we're going to talk about...
Okay, what are we talking about?
Putting...
Yes. Yo.
Putting Christ... Putting your spouse before your child.
Yes.
Yes. Got it. So...
Okay. Please remember to like, subscribe, save, put on the notification bell, do all the things, and let's get to it.
Okay, so first things first. Let's
Okay. Yeah. We're going to read a scripture. So the scripture you can find it in Ephesians 5:31, but we're going to read from Mark 10, verse 6 to 9.
But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one in flesh. So then they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate.
We're going to look at how we made a covenant, we became one in front of God, and then we had children.
Yes.
Children is not part of our one, they are not part of our covenant. They will leave you. Not like leave, but they're going to leave the house.
They will grow up and get married and join as one and their spouse and go forth without you.
That's it. But yes, so this is very controversial, but your spouse should come before your child. They are one with you.
Your spouse.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm too tired. Can't stop giggling. Okay. I need to focus. The point is that we're gonna look at is how can you put your spouse first before your child. So before we go there, I do want to point out that obviously your child still depends on you. This does not mean you're ignoring them. You're just setting boundaries and creating a space where you attend to your spouse first if your child is not in need. Okay, so there's a difference between they need you and they depend on you, and you're using them as an excuse to not be with your spouse. So, and it's also going to differ depending on the age of your child, right? So our child's 2, so it's gonna look different now than in a few years, and it definitely looks different now than what it did when she was born. So it's gonna change, and you're gonna have to find your new rhythm every time. Okay, so disclaimer as well, we are not perfect. We make mistakes. We're just
trying our best.
We're growing with you. That's the whole point, right?
We are all here to learn.
So first off, I'm going to just point out, you can do a lot of research. I'm not going to bore you with research because I could go on for hours.
And we are too tired now.
Yes. But science, lovely science, says that we need to learn and model to our kids how to handle the emotions, how to express and receive love, what their roles within a household is, and how to handle and share power. And those 4 things are easier learned when there's a married couple involved. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does. Because all those that you just mentioned now, you can do with your spouse. Well, not can do, but you will do.
You model, yeah.
Because that's how you live. And how you live and how you model against or with your spouse, your child will see, and they will learn from you.
Yes.
Without you teaching them or realizing that you are teaching them. They will learn from you. So, to be a good model.
It's important. So the science also says that obviously kids who come from a stable marriage household is safer. They feel safer. They feel more secure. They feel more balanced. They feel more in control of their emotions and their surroundings, which is obviously a good thing. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So he grew up in a healthy marriage household.
Yes.
I didn't. I grew up in a divorce household.
Yes.
So is that we're both fine. We're just pointing that out. We are both fine. It's just about we're not focusing on whether you should be married or not. We are focusing on how to put your marriage first if you are married.
Yes.
So let's not go off track. Okay, so moving on. Obviously, we need to figure out why we put our husband first, because or your spouse first. That's the first thing people would ask when I say, but why are you doing this? You should put your spouse first. It's like, why? Why would you do that? And obviously, I'm going to refer back to the verse that says, you are one, and you made a covenant with God. Your child is not part of that covenant. And the covenant in front of God cannot be broken by anyone except God. So there's your basic reason. There's that.
Yes.
But we also need to remember that you shouldn't make your spouse your God. God should still be first. So Matthew 10 verse 37 speaks about how we need to love God so much that the love we have for our spouse or our kids doesn't even match, not even close. So it's very important to put God first and have the God foundation to go from there.
To work off that, yes.
So, end all be all, you want your child to desire what you have. You never want to hear from your child, I never want to have the type of marriage that you had. You want them to say, you have the best love. You're so in love. You're so loving onto each other. I want to have what you have.
Be the best model.
Because otherwise, if they don't see it from you, where are they going to see it from?
No,
TV?
No, there's nothing good on TV.
No, but that's what they're going to model. I mean,
Yes,
you need to
true.
set the standard, right? So,
Also for them in searching a spouse.
yes,
So
very
you
important.
need to model your relationship for your child to grow up and see, okay, this is how it is supposed to be, and that's the kind of spouse I want
Yes.
in my life.
So first of all, you want to set the standard high for who they're going to marry one day. You want to show them what a proper man or what a proper woman looks like and what a proper marriage looks like. And you also want them to know what they are worth and what they deserve. And you want to treat them like James Dobson always says the father should treat his child like a princess. So then the man that takes her away has to treat her like a queen. And that's beautiful. I mean, like, you need to show your child what they're worth, and they need to know their worth and choose the best spouse.
Yes.
Then you also obviously want to show them, like I said, what a good marriage is like and what a loving parent is like. And yes, when I say parents, I'm still mean you have to put your spouse first, because you can't be a good mother or good father if you're not a good wife or a good husband. Like, it starts from there. And if you say one thing but you show another thing, obviously your kid's going to do what you show, right? So you have to really concentrate on how you
behave in front of the child.
Yes, how you communicate,
how you speak to them, how you speak to someone else or anybody else while they are in the room.
How you handle conflict as a couple. It's important for your kid to see you handle conflict and go through conflicts and solve that conflict, so that they have an example to look at and say, oh, that's how I'm supposed to do it. You need to show your child how to worship and how to be a worshiper. Now, that you can obviously do as an individual person, but it's very important as a couple as well to show how worship is being done, to show how we pray together, how we serve together, how we love together, how we are thankful together, how we laugh together, and all those things are worshiping God. So that is important to show that as well. Then we just want to give you like a few examples of how you can actually put your spouse before your child. Not all of these we do.
Well, we try, but yes.
Yes. Okay, so the first example is obviously the words you choose, the nicknames you choose, the jokes you make, and the tone of voice you use during your communication. So think about how you are doing that and what message you are sending. And if you have a smaller kid, remember they don't understand sarcasm at all. So just FYI. Then nap time equals spouse time. That's not something in our case, because nap time equals awake time.
Yeah, we are struggling with that at this moment. Quite a lot.
Yes. So, yes. Number 2, place boundaries on kids' activities. So that would be like placing a boundary on where they play, or placing a boundary and say, hey, I gave you this activity. Here's something you can keep yourself busy with. You can do this or that, but we're going to have alone time on the couch, and we're just going to chat a little bit. You need to stay there in your lane, basically, in a nice way, obviously.
Yes.
But anything like that, like placing boundaries on that type of thing. Then also serve your spouse first when you do something like food or drinks. Serving your spouse first before your child sets the idea that your spouse is obviously more important. We've never done this.
No, we have not.
But we've never thought about it, actually. So
we normally just give our child first food because she's hungry now, so we give her food.
Hungry and impatient.
Yes. So that she can start eating.
But that's something we might try to incorporate a little bit more.
Okay.
Depending on her hunger and impatience.
You must just start the food earlier.
Okay. Then the next thing is obviously do not get pinned up against each other. So when one says yes, it's yes. When one says no, it's no. Don't let your spouse or let your child, don't create that space for them to create a power battle, or like, but mom said this, or dad said that, or but mom does it this way, or dad does it that way. Like, don't fall into that trap of getting pinned against each other. We're not there yet, so we can't really speak of experience.
No, well, even if I don't agree with you and you said no, then it stays no.
Yeah, like even now with the way we discipline or the way we choose to do something,
Yes.
even something simple as is she gonna get juice or not? Like stick together. Yes, unity. Unity. Then do not let your child. What was that? Do not let your children disrupt your conversations or interrupt your conversations.
Oh, that's very difficult.
She's
because
too young though.
She is a child and will just start speaking.
Yeah, we're trying to teach her. You need to have the waiting hand, and you need to wait your turn. Sometimes she waits. Sometimes, like 80% of the time, she doesn't. But she's gonna get there.
Yeah, she's learning, so she will get there.
If you have an older child, let us know when you got there. Then let your child see your affection and how you serve one another. So obviously your affection, like how
Hugging,
like
kissing,
words of affirmation.
I love you and stuff like that. And
And
have a nice day.
Yeah. Don't fake it. Like be
Be
true, be real. Maybe even like if you send your spouse a message, just tell your kid, I'm missing him, I'm missing your dad. Are you missing dad? That type of thing. Just like speaking through your thoughts of affection as well. Or when you are busy and you think of something of why you care and why you love your spouse, just say it out loud so your child can hear it and see that example. And then serving. Serving is a big thing to model. When you model serving, your child will want to do it. And you might model the joy in it.
Yes, they can see it.
So, Chad Masters always says we need to outserve one another. So, Milena also said that. Make sure, I need to double check what's going on in there. Make sure, or always try to outbeat your spouse in serving. Like it's a competition almost.
Yes.
Alright, so that's another way that you could do it. Let them hear you say I love you and proper greeting.
Like in the morning when you go fetch them or they come to you, good morning, how did you sleep?
It's important.
And when you leave for work is goodbye, have a nice day, I love you.
Something we also try to do is he would greet me last, so that I'm the last one he says goodbye to, and then I would greet him first before Laura does, if I'm not like busy stirring food. But otherwise I would greet him first at the door before she does, so that she can see Mom and Dad comes first and then child. Or you see, just that hierarchy basically of how you greet and just giving each other a proper greeting. Yes. Then another rule that we thought we were going to apply and we haven't done it yet is that the bedroom is a no-go for children.
I'm not sure why, but
because it's a sexual space of intimacy. That's the reasoning behind it. It's Mom and Dad's sacred
space.
It's
difficult because we bath her in our bathroom. And
and like she plays there while we get dressed.
It's quite difficult.
I've heard of people who do that, but I think you need to do that from the get-go and then like be consistent and stick with it.
Stay with it, and that's the difficult part.
Yeah, we wanted to do it like we planned to do it that way, and then we were like, but I don't want to breastfeed in the middle of the night there, so then we just moved it there. It's the whole issue.
Yes.
So yes, we're not doing that one, and we're not going to do it soon.
No.
We'll obviously set boundaries, like when the door's closed, the door's closed.
Yes.
That type of boundaries, but yes, we're not going to not allow her to be there. What we do is we don't allow toys to stay there. If she brings in a toy, she has to take it back Then family meetings, involving your child in family meetings. If you want to know what our family meetings look like, just leave us a comment down below and we could do a little video of that, like show you how we do it, how we go through that. Then it's very important to let your child see that you are investing in your marriage and have like special moments. So that could be anything like going to an investing thing at your church, or doing videos or training online, or working through a book together, or just dating, going on a date.
Yes.
So okay, so any special moment that you, even just a little later, whatever you do, letting your child see that. Then obviously setting an example of praying together.
We did mention that, yes.
And praying for each other in front of your child. And then, why is there so many distractions? I'm sure like the devil is just like trying to distract us. Okay, and then grow and develop together. It's very important to like say what your mistakes are, your faults are, work on them, and obviously your child's gonna notice that you are becoming better, or you are trying to improve or working on something.
And you're also just human, and you also make mistakes, and so they can also make mistakes without being too harsh on themselves.
Yeah. Like have an open space for them to come to you when they need to.
Yes, ask for your help.
Yes, so setting the example for that. Then obviously you want to model in your marriage what the relationship between Christ and the church looks like. Because the church is the bride of Christ, and Christ laid his life down for us, for the church, for his spouse. So that's the way your marriage should be. Like your child should see how you would lay down yourself for your spouse, and creating that example. So there's a few examples of how you can actually put your spouse first in front of your child. Our current moment of putting each other first is asking Laura to stay in bed on her own so we can spend time together with you. So yes, we're doing it as well. So it's important to basically, it all comes down to choose your spouse first in the moment if your child is not in need, and creating that special time slots or special moments with your spouse where your child has to play separately or keep themselves busy. And obviously then after, you can create the special moments with your child and bring them in.
A simple example is also just go on a date. Leave your child at home, unsupervised, and go on a date. Joking, just joking. Get a babysitter, ask your mother-in-law or your mother or to babysit, and then spend some quality time with your spouse.
Yeah, very important. And just let your child help you create a lovely romantic meal for you and your spouse.
Yeah, or something like that.
That's also cute.
Yes.
And that's it from us. Thank you for growing with us. Remember to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.
Bye.